Hello world! It's 109 degrees
It's
outside.
So many degrees outside.
We ventured into this hellish landscape to bring you our review for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It takes two to make things
Please
go
like
right.
us. I'm Jesse.
I'm Gabby.
I'm Colin.
I'm Dallas.
We're just like
Yeah.
weird people.
Oh yeah,
that
Gabby's
things.
back.
Oh yeah,
Hey, Gabby's
She
back!
hasn't been here in like.
I'm
She hasn't
here.
been here
Sorry,
since the
what do you
very
think?
last review we uploaded, probably.
I'm so sorry.
the
I'm really
last one-
busy
Technically,
with
we
work.
haven't uploaded the last
By the
review
time they
she's
see
in.
this one, Yeah, this is our spoiler review for Ant-Man and the Wasp. So Ant-Man and the Wasp picks up 2 years after the first... Oh, no, after Civil War.
Yeah, 2 years after Civil War, 3 years
2
after.
years after the events of Civil War, 3 years after the events of the first Ant-Man. Scott
Yes.
Lang is on house arrest. He's about to get off of house arrest.
Mm-hmm.
And then Hank Pym and Evangeline Wasp decide to just mess all of that up for him by kidnapping him 3 days before.
Okay, no. That's not technically... I mean, yes, they do that, but
They
it's
do.
because he had a weird dream about her mom and, like, possessed
And-
her mom. Well, if you possess somebody
She
in your
possessed
dreams...
him.
That
She
was
was
you're gonna have
weird.
to, like... Well,
Why-
no, at
Okay,
that
but, like-
point,
so
he was
weird.
possessing her.
Fair.
A
He was
lot
like
of the
her
conflict
body.
in this movie
Oh, that's true.
derives from the fact that he needed to be home for those 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had they
He
just
was
waited
not
3 days,
home.
woman's been down there for 30 years. What's another 3 days?
So anyway,
I thought. Never mind.
So anyway, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to find Mama Wasp, who's lost in the quantum realm.
And who's played by Michelle Pfeiffer?
That's almost the B plot. It's supposed to be the A plot, but it's almost the
What,
B plot.
finding the mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the A plot is more. There's this chick Ghost, played by
Everybody
Hannah John
wants Hank Pym's like
Kamen,
lab.
not Kamen, not Hannah John Kamen.
Kamen.
Surprised you
Hannah
got
John
that right.
Kamen. Yeah.
'Cause it took you a while to get Giacchino.
Giacchino is hard though. Kamen is
Is it?
2 syllables. I still don't know how many syllables Giacchino is.
I thought Giacchino 3.
Giacchino?
it's really not that
Okay,
hard.
fine. So now John-Kamen plays the Ghost, who is sort of the pseudo-villain in this movie, but not really. Because I feel like she dominates the A-plot. The A-plot is her and Lawrence Fishburne
Want the
trying
lab.
to fix her. Because she is out of sync with the universe, or something, and is constantly being ripped apart between this realm and the quantum realm.
What did you think?
I liked it a lot. I thought this was a pretty good sequel. I think it's the second best sequel we've ever gotten. Meaning part 2. Second best part 2 we've gotten in the MCU so far.
What's your number one then?
Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, that was
Definitely
way
Winter
better
Soldier.
than the first one. I thought it was solid. It was a good movie.
Yeah.
Had a good time. The plot was a little convoluted at times,
Yeah.
but I mean, I was here to have a good time and like look at Paul Rudd's beautiful baby blues for 2 hours, which I.
You got a thing for
and
Paul
it's-
Rudd?
Who doesn't have a thing for
I've
Paul
never
Rudd?
thought about
Okay,
it.
I've
You
had
got
a thing for
Rudd?
Paul Rudd.
She said who doesn't? I was answering her
Oh
question.
my
Oh,
god.
sorry.
I've had a thing for Paul Rudd since I was like 5 and I saw Clueless.
This is new information to me. Cool.
Yeah, he's
All right.
he's handsome.
Okay.
Hey Paul.
He's also really nice.
you super
We
fun.
met him in person. Me and
You
Demi
did?
met him in person.
When?
He was so nice. We went to the premiere, as we often do. He is the Paul Rudd you think of when you think of Paul Rudd in real life. It's
That
amazing.
makes me
I
happy.
want to hug him so bad. So cute.
kind of like Gabby said, this movie was a lot of fun. Like, I don't know that I had expectations, kind of like the first one. I didn't have any expectations. But this one was a lot of fun. Like, the humor in this was... Because sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But this movie, like, consistently was just really good.
Mhm.
And it felt like the kind of movie that must have been really fun to make. That, like, they were having fun while they were making it. And it was just, like, everybody's having a good time. And, like, that came across in the movie. It was also really nice to have something this light after Infinity War.
Even though it ended on a downer.
Shush you. I mean, it did, but like even that, I was fine with it because I just had 2 hours of jokes. I was like, yeah, this is fine.
That's fair.
Yeah, overall, really solid movie.
We have a friend that has a theory that like there's no Paul Rudd movie that isn't funny. Like he's just consistently a funny
Anchorman
person.
2.
Shut up.
Shut up.
It's weird that I always go last because one of you always says what I feel.
Okay,
and
next
I'm
time
sorry,
you
what
go
Colin
first.
It's the
says.
short end of the
Surprise,
stick.
we're
Next,
similar people.
next time you go first.
But yeah, it was really fun. I actually like this one better than the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first to me, I had no expectations going in to the first. This one I thought it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be funny, and it was. And
Yeah.
I love Paul Rudd, not in the way that Gabby does, but like
I think we love him in similar ways, except I
so?
also am attracted to his physical form. Okay.
There's characters in this movie,
let's-
guys.
Yeah, there are. They're present.
There are some enjoyable, some less so.
Cool. Let's get to.
Let's start with the adorable Paul Rudd
Let's start with
as Scott Lang.
He's lovely.
He's
Okay,
lovely.
he was really lovely, and I thought that his like comedy was on, but I feel like he took a back seat to Wasp and
everyone,
to
honestly.
Hank
Hank.
Pym. Yeah,
He really
basically
did.
everybody. I think he was a really good supporting character this movie, but it was more Wasp's film or Hank Pym's film, I thought.
Or ghost film. Like, it was, they consistently just made him the butt of the joke, and he doesn't actually do anything useful in the entire movie other than rescue them from jail, which started to
No,
annoy me
he
a little
takes
bit.
the lab back from Birch.
Oh
Thanks,
God,
son.
we'll get there.
Was
When
he
he's on the
English?
ferry or the
Or he's
boat
Southern?
or whatever.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
Southern.
I
He's
guess.
doing the voice of the guy from Logan, who said, "As I live and breathe."
Oh.
The Wolverine.
Yeah.
But I just remember, like, in the first movie and in Civil War, they showed this guy is capable of going toe-to-toe with Avengers.
When you
can-
say Avengers in the first one, you mean Falcon.
I mean, the Falcon's still an Avenger.
It's a guy with
That's worth something. Enough that
In a bird
that the
costume.
government was
In the
like,
way that
you
Angel is
count
an
as a
X-Men.
superpowered being.
No way that Angel is an
Get outta
X-Men.
But yeah, Civil War, he was great.
Right. He's kind of a badass in the first one. Yes, he's still funny and he's still lovable and adorable, but he is competent. And I feel like in this movie he wasn't. To the point where, like, he doesn't know what a wardrobe is because it's funny.
I feel like
Okay.
he was. I was thinking today about the fact that he doesn't seem super competent as a superhero at this point, and this is his second movie.
Right.
But if I'm going to a Paul Rudd superhero movie, I'm going for the comedy of it all. And it didn't really bother me so much about the movie. It's just like, oh yeah, Ant-Man's that guy that you bring because he can get really big or really small, and he asks for orange slices when the fight's over. So like,
Sure.
That's cute.
I didn't need him to be Elastigirl every time he was fighting somebody.
I feel like he doesn't need to be a superhero. Like, he just needs to be a guy who happens to get into stuff and have to deal with it. But, like, Scott Lang, to me, like, he doesn't want to be saving the world. Like, he'll do it because it's cool.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's just not that man.
Wants to raise his kid.
Yeah, that's more his aim. So, like,
Fathers are the real heroes.
especially this movie, he got roped into everything.
He literally got
Well,
kidnapped.
yeah, that's fine, but my problem was that usually, it's like, yeah, he doesn't necessarily want to save the world, but if he's going to do it, he's going to be good at it.
I feel like you can have Paul Rudd doing really cool stuff, and he can still be funny because he's a comedic actor. He knows what to do, and he knows how to make a situation funny without making him incompetent.
That being said, the scene where he is 2 feet tall at the school was glorious.
It was hilarious.
It was incredible. And the effects in that scene were amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's one
Pretty
thing to
good.
make someone the size of that big, okay, and it's another thing to make them the size of a building. Cool, we've seen that. But to make someone just like the height of this table, that's got to be hard, and I don't know how they did that. Because you got to make like every prop and like everything just slightly too big.
Yeah.
You know, and when he's walking down the stairs, I'm like, how do they do that? It's like,
Optical illusion?
well,
Maybe
I don't
they
know.
built
Did
like
they
one of
build
those
stairs
optical
that are
illusion rooms. Well, have you seen that room that's just like a
I
little bit
have.
off kilter? And so
mystery room?
Yeah.
We used to have it at Knott's Berry Farm. If I saw a 2 foot tall Paul Rudd just running down the hallway, that would creep me
And
out.
like an
I'm hunting
oversized
that Paul
sweater.
Rudd. I'm just gonna.
wait, so
That's
what other scenes did you guys like, or did you guys have any what do you call it? Any like nitpicky or anything you didn't like,
They
or
don't
are we
nitpick.
good with Paul Rudd?
I'm not a nitpicky guy.
That's
I
true.
mean, the only things I really nitpick about are that's not how that was in the comics, but I don't read Ant-Man comics, so I don't care. But one thing I
Hank
really
Pym's not beating his wife in this movie. That's not accurate.
Oh,
I mean, you know,
wah, wah.
she was in the quantum realm.
Not anymore.
She was hiding from him.
We can't have that in Disney movies, guys.
Don't want that in this movie. Although I did like, let's just transition to Hank Pym because we're doing that. I did like that they
I love
made
that they always
Hank
point out.
a jerk. Like, at least it was implied that he has been a jerk throughout his life.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see any of that. I think they did it in a well way where we didn't have to see it and therefore make him an unlikable character. But we were told that, hey, this guy's not the most likable guy in the world.
Yeah, that's accurate from the comics, you know. Backhands
There
his
you
wife.
go. Yeah.
No one likes Hank Pym, the character. So
Fun fact, do you know that was an accident in the comics?
yeah,
Did you hear about that?
yeah.
Because
he
the whole
was
point
like-
of comics was just to make every pose as action-y as possible, no matter what they're doing.
So he was, like,
he
reaching
was
back.
supposed to shove her, I think. And the guy was just like, yeah, but comic book shove.
Yeah.
And it ended up
Closed
turning
fist.
into, yeah.
He was. This is him. Yeah, I didn't really. I don't know. I didn't care too much about a lot of the characters in this movie that weren't either Scott Lang, his daughter, or his group of friends.
Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Although
yeah.
I really
Or
like Wasp.
The FBI agent. because
You like the FBI agent?
Oh, Randall
the Asian
Park.
dude, Randall Park.
Randall Park's
I
delightful.
hated
I
him.
love him.
Wow. Okay.
Oh my
let's do
god,
this.
Great.
Randall Park is delightful.
I'm
when
sure
you talk
he's
about
a
like
lovely
any
human
scenes,
being.
I was like, yes, every scene with him in it,
Yes.
like talking to Paul Rudd.
Yes.
is just my favorite.
Yes.
Oh wow! No, I
Oh my
couldn't
God.
stand his character
What?
at all.
Tell us.
Every time he
Tell
showed up, I
us
was
why
so
not.
annoyed. Well, I
No.
think it really just comes down to I guess I didn't find him funny,
No,
and you guys did.
he's
Yeah, if you don't find him
hilarious.
funny,
Yeah.
it's gonna be very.
I just thought he was so incompetent to the point where I questioned how he became an FBI agent in the first place.
He wasn't that bad.
He was literally the dumbest person in every room he walked into.
Example.
I
To
love him.
example, being outsmarted by Cassie consistently. Like he's like, "Oh, young lady, I'm an FBI agent. I've seen worse than throw up in my life." But like, did he throw up a lot? Because then I might not go up.
He has no real reason to believe this child is lying to an FBI agent.
The rest of the movie is literally him trying to capture a guy who, in and of himself, was dumbed down for this movie. But you guys all liked him. Colin, did you like him?
I liked
Yeah,
him.
Colin's here.
Am I though? I
Couldn't hear you.
think
What'd you say?
I liked him for the most part, but by the end, he kind of wore out his welcome.
Yeah.
Like
in
he
the
was
middle.
funny at first. Like he was silly. I mean, everybody was silly, but I don't know. He just
He
kind
was
of
excessively silly.
yeah.
He was, and he was also only silly.
Mm.
That's all he ever did was be
Oh,
silly.
okay, I understand your problem now.
He
with
never
him.
played it straight.
Got it.
Right. He never played an FBI agent. Yeah.
I love Randall Park, so
Same.
keep doing you, boo boo.
I love Walton Goggins,
Who's that?
the,
Walton Goggins
the
is
actual
the
villain in this
Southern
movie, I guess.
Birch.
The Southern gentleman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I love him.
'cause I don't remember his
I
name.
hated him in this movie.
He was so.
He was. They were the two. It was Walton Goggins and
Mhm.
Randall Park. Who?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just could not stand in this movie. At least Randall Park got screen time, adequate to what his character needed to have. But Walton Goggins is, because we'll get to Ghost in a minute. She's not the villain of this movie. He is the main villain of
She
this
is,
movie.
I don't know why you think she's not the villain.
I
She's
feel
not
like
a villain.
She's definitely.
No,
A
she has
villain.
motives that are understandable. That doesn't make her not the villain. She's
She
the
doesn't-
antagonist of the movie.
Nothing
Yeah.
villainous except knock some people upside the head.
I mean.
She's trying to kill
Yeah.
Wasp
She
mom.
doesn't.
You don't succeed. That doesn't make you not villainous.
No, but it's not that she doesn't succeed. It's that
Also, she was gonna take Cassie.
chooses not
Remember
to.
that?
She was
Yeah.
gonna, and then she chose not to.
Demi's here, guys.
Hi guys.
Oh my
Oh my God!
Speaking of Ghost, who is
Here we are.
my favorite character
She the
in
villain?
this movie. No,
Demi
Um,
cannot help herself.
she is not a villain. She is an
I don't know
antagonist.
why you think that makes you
I
right.
think she's
Villain,
definitely a villain. of
villain
this
and
movie.
antagonist are not interchangeable words. They are often similar, but they are not always the same. Sure, she is in conflict with what they want, because all of them want the same thing. Well, all of them except Walton Goggins. They all want the same thing, which is to get Janet from the quantum realm.
Also, by the end of the movie, she joins the team.
Yeah, that's
So does
true.
Jason Statham in Fast and Furious.
Here.
Yeah, he's not the villain in that
She
movie.
is the
Are we
Winter
really
Soldier
using-
of this movie. Whereas
Is she, though?
she is. She is a person who is put into this circumstance and has no choice in this circumstance. She was put here. She didn't make a choice to be here. She was taken as a child. After she was, develops superpowers, which do not help her in any way, shape, or form because she can't touch anything. They make her into an assassin, soldier, whatever, in return for her to be healed. And then Shield falls apart, and now she has nobody who's promising to help her feel better, except for Bill Foster. So she goes to the
she has
only
a choice.
she goes to the only place.
Either that or suffer a painful death.
Or the hey, I can help
Literally.
you. Like, no, I just want to.
But see, okay,
Give
that
it
was
away.
that was one of my issues with the movie was that every so often I would think to myself, you guys all want the same thing.
Yeah,
So, do you guys consider Lawrence Fishburne's character a villain?
No.
Name, please. Ben
Bill
Foster.
Foster.
Bill Foster.
I don't think
Before
he's
I
a villain.
disappear, because I just want to comment on Ghost so I can
'Kay.
go. So, if you watched our most anticipated movies of 2018, I was the only one with this movie on my list.
Were you?
I was.
Interesting.
And
Got
that's-
that
He's
on the
surprised.
list.
Are you really surprised?
Yeah, it's a Marvel movie. I figured some of us.
No.
I'm surprised I didn't have it on there.
No, because you went hipster.
I did hit their list. You right.
You had the Meg.
You right.
You
I
had
did
the
have the
Meg.
Meg. Listen, Best Picture winner 2018. I'm calling
Oh
it
my
now.
god. I like the original Ant-Man movie, but my main excitement was from the fact that Hannah John-Kamen had been
John-Kamen.
cast in the movie because I've been a fan of hers for the last 3 years, and I love the show that she's on, and I just
What
Which
show was
is-
that to me?
Killjoys,
Oh, it's
There
the
it is.
Killjoys.
which is
One.
what the shirt is.
Is that still on?
Yep, season 4
One more
starts in 2
season.
weeks. Two of the things that I love about Hannah are one, like the physicality that she brings into her roles. Like all of her characters move very differently depending. Like the first scene where we see her as Ghost, and like she's fighting Wasp, and she's like super aggressive and just like really like, she calls it her Terminator Ghost swag.
She was trying to terminate Wasp.
Interesting.
So like she's really hardcore and aggressive and like ready to fight you at any point. And then like the next scene that we see her in completely undercuts that persona, where we're watching her like completely in pain and just struggling to get into the containment unit so that she can feel better. And like that was like it was like watching two different characters in that moment. And the second thing is her emotional range. The way she goes from like one emotion to the next, but it never feels like jarring. So like the scene where she's talking to Bill, the scene we were talking about where she threatens to kidnap Cassie. She has a line where she's completely enraged, obviously, just super like angry and wants to do like, you know, they just lost their captives and the things that they needed.
She's desperate to do anything to
She is
prevent
desperate to do
herself
anything.
from being literally ripped to shreds.
So, but she says this line with so much anger and rage, and then immediately after she has another line, and she says it with so much pain and anguish, and it doesn't feel jarring. It doesn't feel like, whoa, what just happened? It's like, you know that all of her anger comes from the fact that she's in so much pain, and like she does it.
What was the line? Do you remember?
I don't remember the line. I just remember.
It was during the "I'm gonna kidnap Cassie" part.
It's during that scene. I remember it's during that scene.
Okay.
But I remember.
You said you were gonna help me.
Yeah, I think it was that.
Cool.
I think that they spent too much time on Walton Goggins and actually should have spent more time on Ghost and just cut him out completely.
I think they needed to make up their mind. He didn't need to be in the movie, but if he's gonna be in the movie, then give him
More to
something to do, some purpose for being in the movie.
Whereas,
So it was one or the other. Either cut him
Yeah.
out completely or do something with
Yeah,
it.
I was wondering why he was still in the movie
Because we needed a cool chase scene.
halfway
Cool
through
chase
the movie.
yeah, but
I
Ghost
mean,
is,
I guess. But then have Ghost steal Cassie, there's your chase scene. Like,
Yeah,
but,
honestly, if you're gonna make Ghost go full bad guy.
but I don't think they ever wanted to, and that's my thing.
No, I think
Ghost,
she's gonna have a similar arc to Bucky.
Yeah, she's gonna be an anti-hero, I think.
She's
So
the bad
that's-
guy in this movie the way Bucky is the bad guy in Winter Soldier.
And I think she's intriguing enough that we can do more movies where
so
she
this
pops
was
up.
basically the plot to Winter.
Thunderbolts, please.
As far as she's concerned, yes.
Yeah,
I
for
think.
her it is. That's all I really wanted to say about her, because she's awesome and she's great, and
Yeah.
I'm proud of her, and I'm glad that she's getting more fans, because nobody knew who the hell I was talking
We
about.
all
when I
appreciate you.
mentioned her. And that's all I wanted to say, and that's all I cared
Gotta
about.
go back. So we just forget about Walton Goggins because the movie does too. And he was
Yeah.
worthless, and I love him, but he's worthless.
He was good for that chase scene that we wanted.
He wasn't even good in the chase scene because I don't think is he even in that chase scene?
No, but they wanted a chase scene, so
Yeah,
yeah,
they
was
just-
there. It
The
was
chase
cool
scene at the
though.
end. I feel like we see more of Ghost and Wasp and Ant-Man. He's just kind of there.
It was just so you can see them like make the cars big and small and big again. And
It was an awesome chase sequence,
Wasp
but that's
was, like,
literally the
very
only
in
purpose
control.
of his
Every-
only purpose in this movie.
So about Ghost.
Say in a second. So about Ghost.
What do you think, Colin? Do you think Ghost is a villain? Do you think Ghost is just a misunderstood anti-hero?
I feel like Ghost is the protagonist of a different movie and not like I understand that you want your antagonists to be complicated and have their own motivations and maybe you can even root for them, but like her methods, obviously she goes a little too far, but what she wants is totally valid and like she felt like a character where if they'd sat down and had a 2-minute conversation there would have been no problem. Yeah, I wouldn't call her a villain because I don't think she didn't know.
I'm on the Dallas boat. I think she was the main villain, or she was supposed to be the villain, and then she like wasn't at the same time.
This is one of the occasionally we'll get into a debate, and I think the fact that we're able to have this debate is there's got to be a better way of phrasing that. A plus on the movie side. There's a
It
there's a
means
word I'm
there's
not thinking of.
complexities and layers
Right.
to the movie.
So that's good on you, movie. I think they
Yay.
made a good character there.
Cool, let's talk about Hope.
She was the best part of this movie.
Transition.
Oh my god, I loved
Yeah,
her.
she was actually. She was Cassie was the best part of this movie, but Hope was definitely up there.
Oh my god, girl, what is it? Girl Powerlicious.
It's
Like
your thing.
yes, I know, but I haven't been here in a while.
All right, hashtag Girl Powerlicious.
Oh my god, put it right here. She's just the
Antithesis.
complete opposite of Scott. Scott?
Mhm.
Yeah. She was like competent. She knew how to use her suit. She was like here. She was there. Also,
She was everywhere.
it was amazing.
Her suit worked.
And she knew how to like, oh god, like the chase scene. What a talented, competent superhero she was. Like, oh, thank you.
I also love though that she wasn't just kind of the stoic, badass, I'm
she
perfect at
wasn't.
everything woman.
She had
Even though she
her-
was perfect at everything, but
She was really, really good at her job, but
Yeah.
like she still, you know, she
she felt like a human.
Yeah.
I love her relationship with Scott in this one more than I did in the first movie.
She
I
was a
believed
lot
it
nicer to him. Well, and I feel like
Well,
in the
'cause now
last
she
one,
likes him.
I feel like in the last one she was like completely like, I hate you and I don't want to be here, but here we are. And this one, it's like, I guess we have to turn to you, but I'm at least going to like have a good time because you're my homie.
Yeah, and I love the fact that like she would laugh at him, but also he could genuinely make her laugh.
Yeah.
Like when he was talking about the suit, like, life's strange sometimes. She starts cracking up. And I loved it because it's like, oh, now I understand why you are attracted to this man. Because apparently people are attracted to him. Back to 2-foot tall Paul Rudd when she's like making fun. I'm like, you can do it. Come on.
That was great.
That was great, Or when they're in the broom closet and he's like stuck up against the thing and she can't even keep a straight face. She just starts cracking up. She can't even make a joke or anything. She's just like, I'm sorry. It's funny. And I loved it. Yeah.
And it shows that she's not a stoic badass. She's like a woman with a heart and a soul.
Yeah, actually, honestly, yes. And I was worried that they wouldn't do that.
She was cool. I definitely was more interested in pretty much every scene she was in. Like, Scott's there, but Scott kept messing up. And it's like, my suit doesn't work. My suit doesn't work. My suit doesn't work. Well, I don't care about you. I'm not going to look at you anymore because she's carrying this entire movie.
My point exactly.
And she carried the crap out of this movie.
I don't disagree with everything you guys said.
That's
So here's
comforting.
the thing.
It's good to know.
Like when Colin said he'd rather just be watching a Wasp movie, it's different in the way that it's lighthearted, it's funny, it's silly. You have the Paul Rudd comedy, you have Michael Pena, you have T.I., all of that stuff.
T.I., I forgot about
So
T.I.
this movie
So did
stands
mine.
out for that reason. But as far as like, action and like backstory, all that stuff, you put this with the other 19 movies in the MCU.
No, hold on, wait, no. The action in this movie is great.
Yeah.
And I would
stands
put it
out.
in the upper echelons of the MCU movies.
Yeah, I would put it.
Because honestly, I feel like most of the MCU movies don't have... The action scenes themselves are not that creative or spectacular. It's people punching each other.
Yeah, I feel like they sat down and they were like, what are the coolest things we can do with making things small and making things big? And they put as many of them as they could in this movie because I felt like the action was much more creative and we had a lot more like, let's see what we can do with this small power, big power, because there was a lot of playing with it and it just made the scenes more dynamic.
But I was thinking about Incredibles 2 when I was watching this movie.
Me
Because what we were
too!
talking in
Me
our
too.
Incredibles 2 review, which you can check out on our YouTube channel, we talk about in that movie how they use the powers creatively to their full extent. I feel like this movie does that. I feel like both Ant-Man movies really did that.
I feel like they've
This
left
one
a
did it
little
more.
bit of room for more adventures in the next Ant-Man movie, but I definitely think they pushed the boundaries.
I regret using the word action. What I was trying to say was, if you take the comedy out of this movie, because let's be honest, you make this a Wasp movie, you're taking the comedy out of it. Wasp is not a comedic character. If you take the comedy out of this movie, it doesn't stand out that well.
That's fair.
And that's why I don't want to watch a Wasp movie. I
I
want
get
to
what
watch
you're
an
saying.
Ant-Man
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
because it's funny and entertaining.
Dallas,
and Paul
I
Rudd is
agree with you for the first
my
time
God.
this review.
silly. But,
Okay, I understand where you're coming from.
So when I look at Wasp, I see a cool character, but it's like the MCU has dozens of cool characters. There are a bunch of them, and it's just like you're not cooler to me than a lot of the characters I've seen. So it's hard for me to really care that much. Michelle Pfeiffer.
What a waste of
Michelle
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Definitely a waste of Michelle Pfeiffer. It's the biggest waste I've seen in a movie since Walton Goggins in this movie. We're built up to this character the whole time.
Yeah,
And
okay.
you cast Michelle Pfeiffer, and then she shows up and 5 seconds later the movie's over.
Yeah, I was disappointed.
It was a
And
little-
then she gets snapped away.
But Jesse,
Yeah,
she
let's-
has.
Magic
Magic
fingers.
powers.
Yeah, that was
That
weird
was weird
too.
and dumb.
She has quantum powers.
That was very dumb.
I don't know why that
They
was
just
so
put
weird when they
quantum in
literally
front
said
of
that was
everything.
exactly what they were going to do when they got her. She was going to use quantum energy to fix Ghost, and that's exactly what she did.
No,
I
they
don't
were
know why
gonna
that's
do
so
weird.
something
I
sciencey.
thought they were gonna
and-
like extract it
Literally,
from her
all they said
body.
was they were going to pull the energy out of her. Instead, she gave
Yeah,
it.
presumably there would be some effort involved in that. Some
Yeah.
kind
Yeah,
of
not like
conflict that needs to be
Jesus
resolved,
fingers.
not just the most.
Yeah, like,
One of the most literal versions of Deus Machina I have seen in a movie.
let's say you need a blood transfusion,
Uh-huh.
and we're a match.
Aww.
I just put my hands on your head, and then you don't need it anymore. Like that's this. That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
Well, no, because we don't know how the quantum energy works. So who's to say
I
she
don't know how
can't
blood
just
transfer.
give it?
I'm just kidding.
I guess.
It's just like,
I don't know.
why is
It went
that the
from,
way
like-
you decide for it to work?
Yeah.
Also, it went from like science-y to like fantasy really quick, and I was like,
It did.
then
Well, also,
why?
like,
I mean,
to
it's still-
use
I
that
mean,
example.
that's fine. We already have the quantum realm. Like, I feel like that's not a real.
guess.
Well, but here's the thing.
complaint.
To keep going on that example. Is,
Also, we have actual magic in this universe already. This is nothing new.
Which, like, to Colin's point,
Mm-hmm.
and to completely contradict what I just said, it is different. It's not actual medicine. It's quantum energy. So
Sure.
we can't really say that's not how it works. It could just be, oh, it's energy. It's in a Marvel movie. This is how energy is transferred. It felt silly to me.
It
felt very
did.
sad.
That's,
And I
I
think
think
that's
that's
a-
what we're saying.
It's a personal thing for, let's say, 75% of the people who watch this movie, probably. It just
on
felt
this
silly.
couch.
But, you know, if that's how they want to roll, that's how they want to roll.
It was
that's
like,
pretty much all you can say
what a
about her
nice
character because
little
there wasn't
bow.
much of a character there to say anything about.
Yeah,
But,
except that beautiful Paul Rudd scene where he was her.
yeah, that was great. Where Paul Rudd plays Michelle Pfeiffer playing Janet. That was
my
awesome.
That was so
That was
cool.
really
It's
good.
amazing.
I really hope Michelle Pfeiffer was on set that day and did the thing, and then Paul Rudd just.
I really hope that didn't happen and Paul Rudd just winged it.
Let's talk about Cassie.
Let's talk about Cassie, who, I don't know, might be dead.
was adorable.
She is the most adorable person.
She might be dead. She's adorable.
She is. That'd be really sad if she was dead.
Yeah, I hope not.
She has to become Stature.
Doesn't mean she can't be
Is
dead.
that her name? Is
The
that what
worst
it is?
superhero name ever.
It's a pretty bad super. Condiment King.
That's a villain
No,
name.
you know exactly
Oh,
what
I'm sorry.
he's about.
You're right. You're right. No, it is,
You
and
know
yeah,
exactly
we're both
what
right.
he's
Also,
about.
John McCain is like from the 40s. Stature's from 2006.
Really?
Like, they should know better.
I thought she was great, and I like that she kept being around in this movie because honestly, I like seeing that these people have lives outside of just being superheroes, and I loved when they're all tied to the chairs, and then she's texting him, and it's like, it's 911. I have to answer it, and they let him answer it. Like, yeah, you have him tied up. You can do whatever you want, but like his daughter is texting, and it's an emergency, so you have to let him talk to her. Like, when she's involved, everything is better.
Yeah. And I loved her. I think they had the most developed relationship in the movie.
Also, I liked the relationship between the extended family.
Oh,
the
yeah,
stepdad
yeah.
and the
I
mom.
love that.
The one who
I
kept-
like how all of it, like, before was
Every
like
time,
really antagonistic.
they were gonna hug. He's like, nope, I'm getting in on this
Yeah,
too.
it's like, it was super sweet
Yeah, that
and
was
cute.
kind of nice because I feel like that would have been very easy to go the very typical route of the stepdad sucks and nobody
Which
likes him and
they did
Scott
in the
doesn't
first
like
one.
him. Remember?
Yeah,
And that's the
but
thing.
I just like the development.
Yeah, because I was talking to Kayla and Colin about this earlier. Is that part of the reason I like this movie better is that in the first one you have that stepdad as like the cop who's annoying. I'm gonna catch you, blah blah blah. He's like the cliche. We don't like this guy, but now he's just like
He's
a
accepted
nice,
it.
happy
Well, I mean,
guy.
to be fair, in the first one, he had every reason to act that way towards Scott.
Yeah, he
far
wasn't
as
being
he's
like
concerned, you're a
overly
terrible person.
villainous. He was like,
Yeah.
you're a bad
He's also not a villain.
father and a criminal.
Yeah.
But
And then, by the end of that movie, he's like, oh, you're not a bad
yeah, so like they're like
guy.
group
It's never
hugging
good.
and they're on.
But I did still
FaceTime,
like
"Are
the,
you
like,
okay, buddy?
you're not hugging my wife unless I'm hugging you too. That little thing of, yeah, still gonna throw that in there. Yeah, but as much as I loved, and I did love the relationship between Hank, Hope, and Scott, because I thought that trio was fantastic throughout this whole movie. I still think Scott and Cassie, that's the heart of this movie.
Definitely.
That relationship between
And it's kind of like when we talked about Incredibles, I was saying that I don't want to just see the superheroes. I want to see
the
the
family.
people behind it. And this movie gives you that because Cassie and Scott are great together. And I love that his motivation is basically, I need to be there for my daughter. I don't want to go do this because I could go to jail for a long time. And Cassie's like, do it. Like,
No, I love
want
it.
you to be a
I
hero.
the scene where they have that just completely open dialogue.
Yeah.
And he's just being 100% honest with her. Like, I'm sorry, I lied to you. I am Ant-Man again. I've been for the past couple of days. I can't continue to be Ant-Man because I don't know how to do this without hurting you.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, she's, do it. You can do anything. You're the world's greatest grandma. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's
oh my
so
God.
cute.
Every line out of this little girl's mouth. Even when she's not speaking. Just the little looks on her face. Like when she sees Giant Man on the news and she's got that
She's just
evil.
smiling.
The Grinch had an
Yeah.
idea.
It's
An
the
awful idea. Kind of
It's
grin.
the best. Like I could totally see a scene like if he did get caught and she's visiting him in prison, she'd just be so proud of him.
Right?
Like, Dad, you did it.
Yeah, I love you, Dad.
Let's talk about Michael Pena now.
We haven't talked about
Michael
Hank Pym.
Pena. Who cares about Hank
We talked about Hank
Pym?
Pym.
Did we talk
Yeah,
about
we
Hank
did.
Pym?
Yeah, he was a
did.
jerk. People don't like him.
Loved him.
Yeah,
Okay. But I also love
backhanding
him in
his
this
wife.
movie.
So in
Alright.
the first movie, I felt like he was a giant caricature, and I felt like T.I. was also a caricature, which frustrated me because I was like, this is a prominent Latino character, and they did this with him, and I think that's why it rubbed me the wrong way. But I also just really enjoyed his storytelling.
So it's
him. So it was like, this is bothering me, but also I really like it.
See, it's weird because I feel like I love him because he's a prominent Latino character, and the fact that he's a Latino character has no impact on his character. He's just a great character who happens to be played by a Latino actor. Other than I don't remember the cookout scene in the first one.
You
So
gotta
other than
see
the
it.
abuelita scene in this movie, I don't remember it ever being addressed.
He was a lot better in this movie than the last one. And also that storytelling, I'm so glad they brought it back
Yes.
because it was really my favorite part.
Here's the thing. I feel like he is 100% a caricature. He is one note throughout the entirety of both movies, and I love it. He is
He's great.
fantastic.
He's hilarious.
And honestly, my favorite scene in the movie is the truth serum scene.
Yeah,
It was
great.
perfect. From the opening of
So it's
is that
truth
true
serum?
serum? There's no such thing. This is a highly influential serum that'll make you suggestive.
So it's truth serum.
It's true
That's
serum.
Yeah,
truth
that's
serum.
true.
And then he gets injected. He's like, nah, this isn't true serum because I don't feel anything. I'm just kidding. That was a lie. I do feel something. Oh my god, it is true serum.
And I love that the guy who brought it was like almost gonna. He's like, it's not true serum.
And then
And then at the
I
end,
hear
it
the
was-
music building to one of his stories because it has that little beat. I was like, I literally did this.
I love
We're
the
doing it.
stories. And I love how the story was like about Scott, and it's just
Right?
so-
Where is Scott Lang? Well, he's in a very complicated
Yeah.
place
I know.
emotionally.
One of my favorite things about it is because he's doing it and they're showing the other characters. And Evangeline Lilly talking
super-
as
As
Michael
oh my
Pena
God.
is the best thing.
When she does-
he's
there's
like,
like-
you know what? I don't know if I can trust Scott. And
Yes.
I was like, give her something for that performance.
The tiny little moment, which I absolutely
Just
love,
reminded
where
me
she's
of
like,
Drunk History in a great
I don't
way.
remember what the line was, but it was something along the lines of like, now I'm gonna get back with Scott, and she goes, she does this, that little. I was
was
like, that's
amazing.
such a Michael Pena.
Trying to be Michael
ism.
Pena
Oh,
being her.
God.
Oh, it
Right.
was so good.
It
But then
reminded-
that scene culminating in Ghost just randomly showing up in the middle of the room, and everyone goes, ah!
Yeah.
I loved it. It was fantastic.
the
It was one
woods?
of the, and I hate to say this because Demi's looking at me, but like it was one of the best character entrances I've seen in a movie in a long time.
I also really like his dynamic with T.I., Dave, and I don't know the Russian's dude's name.
Baba
It
Yaga.
is Bobby Yaga.
His name is Baba Yaga.
When they bring Hank in Hope, and they're gonna give him the pastries, and he's like, "What is this? Gotta keep the food budget down."
The fancy,
They have
fancy
an entire
pages.
conversation about what are you supposed to eat for breakfast. Eat the oatmeal packets. They taste like sand. They're organic. They're not organic.
They're sand.
Okay, so the CGI was decent, guys.
The CGI was great.
Alright.
It was, the CGI was great.
Really? Explain to me how.
Well, first of all, we already talked about the 2-foot tall Paul Rudd
Yeah.
and how impressive that was, just from a CGI perspective. But also, when he's Giant Man and fully CGI, you look good. That looked like a dude in a suit who was somehow 20 feet tall.
I actually agree with him. It was really good. I just wanted to get him talking.
Also, I'm pretty sure every time their helmets close, they're CGI.
Really?
I think so.
What?
Because they're doing like impossible things. I don't know if Ant-Man, but at least
every
Wasp.
time.
At least Wasp, because every time Wasp closes the helmet and you don't see Evangeline Lilly anymore, she's immediately doing something that's impossible for a human to do.
I was watching a thing. Peyton Reed was talking about the kitchen fight, and he was saying that every time you see the face in the helmet, it's their faces.
Oh, okay.
That they put their faces in there because they wanted that at least to look real, so that you'd still think it was the same person, even though you know it's not. Obviously, like they wanted it to look like that, so
Okay.
they just took a ton of different images of their faces so they could just put them in there.
In a world where we are post Thanos, the bar has been raised, and good on you for meeting that expectation.
Speaking of Thanos.
Speaking of Thanos, okay. Oh, the end credit
Oh, yeah,
scene!
there, you got there.
I heard a lot of hype about this end credit scene. That was one of the best
Oh,
end
right.
credit scenes. that they've
Now
ever
I
done.
remember.
Really? I didn't hear any
Demi
hype,
kept
so-
talking about people
She
talking about
did.
it.
She kept.
Oh,
That's where I
see,
heard the
I've
hype
been
from.
missing.
Yeah, I only heard the hype from Demi
Same.
relaying the hype
Yeah.
from Twitter or whatever.
I think it's one of the best end credit scenes the MCU has to offer. It
Really?
was great.
It's gonna be weird to say it felt predictable after
Oh, absolutely.
Ant-Man,
Yeah.
but I was just thinking like they're not gonna let us get out of these theaters without somehow addressing Infinity War. And
I'm
I was
glad
thinking
they
like,
did, but-
oh no, he's gonna go down there, and they're gonna be gone.
As soon as they start counting down.
But I was like, maybe they wouldn't. Maybe they'll just let us enjoy this movie, have
Nah.
our fun, and we don't have to think about all the death and then
And then the
No,
death.
they were all
See, but I love it because I feel like they knew that you were gonna know what was gonna happen. I felt bad because I feel like I spoiled it for the people in my immediate vicinity because I was talking to me and Colin about how that exact thing was gonna happen. I was like, all right, so they're all gonna dust, right? You ain't gonna stuck in the quantum realm, and they're all
Yeah,
gonna
you
dust.
definitely
Oh, no.
stage whisper.
Yeah, that was the thing. It's like I knew.
So you're doing what she did to me all throughout Deadpool too.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't know it was gonna happen. I
It's the
just
Juggernaut.
thought it was gonna happen. See,
Right.
she knew it was the Juggernaut, and she
Got
should
it.
know
Got it.
better than to do that for people who haven't. You guys haven't seen our Deadpool 2 review yet.
Future of the franchise.
Baba Yaga.
Hear me out. So the last end credit scene.
Oh yeah.
There's an ant on the drums. This is what I need. Ant-Man, like maybe 3 or 4 or 5, whatever. Andy Serkis plays that ant.
You're just casting him in everything now?
Yes.
He's in every movie.
I need Andy Serkis to do
But, like,
motion
his-
capture for
But he's already in
everything.
the MCU.
I don't care.
Doesn't matter. He's dead in the MCU. He can
Everyone's
come
dead in
back.
the
Yeah, he's motion capture now.
You're right. He's the ant. So
can be
does the
both.
ant speak?
Anyway, yeah, the ant is gonna go through most of the movie not talking, and then like halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way, he's just gonna show no at somebody.
I hated that end credit scene. Especially coming off the first one, which I loved. But it has like this weird post-apocalyptic vibe where like you have the emergency broadcast on
Yeah,
the
that was
TV
rough.
and sirens in the distance and just you
And
know.
then it's like,
And then it's an ant on drums. I'm like, whoa.
What?
it was like a good.
Yeah, it
not
was
really.
really
That
scary.
end credit scene has more tones than the movie.
I think that end credit scene is the reason why I came out of that movie only putting it in the middle
That was
tier.
so weird.
Like it dropped my entire appreciation of the movie.
And like the first thing, my heart dropped when the scene started because
Yeah, 'cause it was
we
so dark.
see
I was
the
like, are
broadcast,
we gonna see like?
and we don't see Cassie,
Right.
and I'm like, oh my god,
Yeah, I thought we were gonna go in her
No.
room and it'd just be a pile of ash.
like you will not get
Right.
Cassie.
But then we realized she turned into an ant.
Played by Andy Serkis.
Which is even- See, here's the thing. I'm worried that Infinity War is going to pick up and they're just going to immediately go, oh, we need Ant-Man. Where is he? Stuck in the quantum realm. Cool. Doctor Strange. Can you go get him? Thanks.
Oh, that's probably what's gonna happen. They're not gonna have all that time.
Oh, wait! No.
Not Doctor Strange.
Not Doctor Strange. He gone.
But the thing
He
is,
dead.
like, hey, don't get stuck in a time vortex.
Yeah, definitely.
He's in there somewhere in the time vortex.
Also, it could be-
He's gonna pop out right before, like, oh,
There
Don't
is
go
a
in
pretty
there.
simple solution for him to getting out of the quantum realm, which is the solution the last time he was stuck in the quantum realm.
Just
Just
got
make
out.
himself bigger. So it could honestly be as easy as that, where he's just like, oh no, they're not answering. Guys, hey,
Where's
where'd
our
you go?
this?
What are these piles of dust doing
Now
here?
I have magical quantum powers.
Yeah, and I could just, I don't know, Thanos, you no longer
yeah,
want to
undust
destroy
you. I
the
don't know
universe.
what it
Yeah.
does.
What if that's how the Infinity 4 happens?
Okay, but overall thoughts? Would you recommend this movie? Would you recommend this movie? Would I recommend
Yeah. I didn't know when she was gonna stop. I just jumped in. Like,
I mean, there's 4 of us, so.
yeah. I would recommend this movie if you like the first one, or Paul Rudd comedy Marvel. It's a fun time. There's nothing about this movie that I think would really bother people. From maybe my opinion, depend on how racist you think that character's portrayal is.
In the Marvel film universe, maybe not in the extended TV universe, but in the film universe, we have Michael Pena is our representation, and I just didn't like that they went with images of stereotypes.
So you would recommend it?
Sorry.
No, because of that scene.
I'm talking about the first Ant-Man. The second Ant-Man, they didn't really do that. But I enjoyed the movie, and also I did say I did enjoy the first Ant-Man. I'm just disappointed that we don't have as very much representation, and that's the route that they chose to go.
I'm gonna try again. So you would recommend?
I like the movie.
Okay,
I
cool.
recommend it,
Got it.
especially because the Wasp.
Because you
girl
started
power
with I
delicious.
like the movie. I like Michael Pena. It's just like the really cool.
That's my fault.
I was addressing
Address it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Bro.
that thing.
Colin.
Thinking more about this movie, I'm gonna end up liking it even more than I already do because it doesn't feel like a superhero movie, and I'm just tired. Infinity War was so much.
Yeah.
It
and
was
this movie
a
was-
lot. It was.
This movie
I
was just
tired
so
after seeing it.
not about superheroes and saving the world. It was so small and shush and not. Oh man, everyone's going to die if we don't do this. This was a story about 10 people over a weekend, and it was great. You like funny movies, you will like this movie. You don't need to like superheroes. You don't need to care about the rest of the MCU, to be honest. Like, this movie just works. It's a fun time. You should go see it. I like that. I feel like you don't need 19 movies worth of history to enjoy this, and it's so nice.
You need at least 2.
After we watched the movie, I looked over to Kayla and I was like, imagine there's someone who for some reason is just watching Ant-Man movies and they see that end credit scene. They're very confused.
Well, but
Where are they? What is this dust?
okay, here's the thing. For those of you out there who like a character in the MCU and want to follow that character, you're gonna have to watch the Avengers movies that Ant-Man's in to get the full story, and that's with any character in the MCU. But
So
yeah,
you would recommend
I
the
would
movie?
definitely recommend this movie. I liked it a lot. I'm kind of with Colin. I think I liked it. I came into this review liking this movie a lot. I think I like it more now because of the discussion we were able to have about the movie. And I think that this movie has a weird depth that I didn't realize it had until now. It's upper middle class of
Yeah.
the MCU.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put it there.
It's not Iron Man, but
Right.
it's,
It's also not Thor: The Dark World.
it's definitely
Nothing
Thor
is Thor: The Dark
Ragnarok.
World.
A little bit under
yeah.
Thor Ragnarok.
I see a lot of people saying they don't like this as much as the first one. I think I do like
No,
it more.
I
than the
do
first
I
one.
like it more. Definitely like it more.
You're the world's greatest grandma.
Okay, so you can find us at all social media.
Thank you. But yeah, we liked it.
We all
recommend
We
liked
liked
it.
it. We also like
Please
social media.
Go watch this. We're at everything at the Reshoots.
So Twitter at the Jester.
But currently I'm on Twitter
Thank you.
at the Jester 1130. I use that about as much as I use my MySpace account. I'm on Facebook, but that doesn't matter.
Moving on.
You're not
Where
going
can
to
they
see my
find
Facebook.
you?
I don't want you on my
Hi,
Facebook.
you
Get off
can
my
find
Facebook.
me on Instagram at Stegosaurus. I changed my name. I'm sorry, guys.
I have no
Say it.
social media.
That's
Yeah.
not true.
You
He was a liar.
McGuck.
Duck.
Duck McGuck.
All one word.
Yeah. Capital D,
The McGuckiest
capital Mick,
Duck. Your turn,
capital G.
Mr. Darden.
You can find me on Twitter at the King Named Simba. What's that?
Nothing.
He licked me.
She's had her hand on my face. Self-defense.
Okay, a king named Simba on Twitter, on Blogspot, on...
Friendster.
We're gonna have to cut out the part where
MySpace.
Jesse licks you. So this is gonna get a weird. All right, guys, have fun out there.
Have fun out there,
We
everybody!
have fun in
Have
here.
fun out there.
Just
It takes two to make a thing go right.
We had a perfect segue into that conversation,
We
too.
did?
When I brought up Antony. We could have been like, oh yeah, the
Anthony!
Wait, is
Antony.
Antonio Banderas alive or is he dead?
No, he's
He's
Oh,
dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Ulysses S. Grant. I think
That's
we're still alive.
a
Paul
great
Rudd, I love
one.
you.
And I was mad that Anton and Antoinette were fake. They weren't real ants. They were the cardboard ones that were in the maze. And I was mad about that. I was like, oh, those are perfect names for real ants that could have survived. Yeah, all the ants he names die. So he needs to
Yeah,
stop
because
naming
they're
ants.
the murdering seagulls.
But also remember when Corey Stoll somehow shot it?
What? That was so weird.
Shot Anthony. I'm like, holy crap. Like this fly that's buzzing around, imagine shooting
What
it.
kind of aim do you have that you can shoot an ant?
This is wanted.
But yeah, Hank.
Paint him. Yeah.
Michael Douglas.
Hannah John-Kamen.
You guys suck. These videos are long. Where's Gabby?
Listen.
Listen, one
here's the
comment
thing.
that just says all of that. You guys suck the videos long. Who's Gabby? Yeah.
The little girl's adorable.
She's
I love
adorable.
all the foreshadowing. Just
When we
real
went to
strong.
the premiere of this
Superhero
movie,
like you. It's great.
she came out of the car and everyone was like, and she signed a couple things, and then she turned around and she was walking into the red carpet, and the people did again. And she turns around and she smiled and she waved and went, oh my god, this girl is stupidly adorable. And then I went to watch the movie, I'm like, oh my god, this girl is stupidly adorable. She's
All right, Jesse, I
great.
need you to estimate for me how many people were at the premiere.
Jesus.
Hundreds?
Hundreds.
So now I'm picturing hundreds of you just going at this child.